So I made it to Bayeux, B-A, I'm not going to spell it or pronounce it correctly, but it's a town off the beaches actually. And I'm at the Memorial Museum of the Battle of Normandy. I heard it's a little bit of a smaller museum, but a very inclusive museum. Behind me is a Sherman, I almost said a Sherman main battle tank. I'm thinking of the M60 main battle tank. That's a Sherman tank that was used prevalently during the invasion. One thing about these tanks, a few things about them, they were very much inferior to the Tigers and the Panthers that the Germans had when it came to armor and firepower and range. I'm going to flip this around to you. But you'll see this movie like in the movie Fury. It looks like it has, those might be 30 cals in the driver's position and one in the tank commander's position. These little push out things that you see, those little welded plates, those were actually added later on after manufacturing. Those plates are actually reinforced armor, and they're situated right where the driver would be sitting. So if you see where the periscope would be, the driver would be right on the other side of that. So they were some added things. There are a few other armored vehicles out here. Once again, in the United States, we have a lot of museums that have armored vehicles in them. So I'm probably not going to spend too much time on that. One thing I will point out, I'm going to walk around. I saw it on the other side. They got an anti-aircraft gun there. Not sure what the calibers were, but this is the thing I wanted to point out. This one here, this was a German vehicle. I'm gonna call it a Stug, but I'm not sure. Oh, that cannon specs are right here, by the way. 105. So 105 anti-aircraft. But this vehicle, one of the reasons why Germany came up with those, if you notice there's no turret, and they wanted it to be like a mobile artillery piece. I'm not going to pronounce that right either. Jagdpanzer, tank destroyer. So, but one thing about these, see how there's no turret? It's just straight. So the advantage was it was more heavily armored. It had a larger gun than most of the other tanks. You might be able to traverse it a little bit, but you'd have to turn the whole tank around to make angling effects. So this was just basically a mobile artillery piece, not really used for tactical engagement. But if it were to be hit anywhere, the way the plating is, it could bounce off. There was no cupola, there was no turret to get blown off, and you know it would take a harder hit. So they weren't intended to engage mobile tanks like that Sherman I just showed you, but as time went on, due to attrition and the need, they did start using those as a maneuverable tank to engage maneuverable military piece to engage other tanks. To grab an earlier train to get in here, and it's 2 o'clock. It was 3 o'clock. I'm gonna try to get like 2 hours here, and then I'm gonna go look at the tapestry. So if my cousin Christopher George is watching this, or Christopher Jorge, yes, I'm gonna go see the tapestry. I'm just gonna knock that out. I'm not even gonna think about it because everyone's saying don't. I'm gonna do it. Real quick, I'm wearing my 9th Infantry Division hat. I served in the 9th Infantry Division up at Fort Lewis, Washington, 3rd Brigade, 47th Infantry Regiment, from like 1987 to 1990. The 9th Infantry Division, this thing here, is called an octafoil, and they were D-Day +4. So they got to D-Day on June 10th. Then they were in other campaigns throughout France and Germany. One notable one, and I forgot the name of the campaign, but it was where a bunch of tank traps were. There was pushing back and forth. I want to say the Ardennes, but I'm not sure if I'm right on that. The other one that they're known for, or known to have participated with, they did not liberate Dachau, but they did take over and became the I don't know what to say. I don't want to say caretakers, but they didn't liberate Dachau, but they got to Dachau, and they were the division that kind of oversaw it and the progression of getting the people that were inside Dachau, medical help, infrastructure, things like that. So I'm gonna go head on inside right now and take some cool pictures. So here are some divisions. The greater known divisions would have been 82nd Airborne, 101st Airborne. There's 9th Infantry Division, the hat that I'm wearing right now. Big Red 1, 1st Infantry, 4th Infantry, 2nd Infantry. There's the armored divisions down there. 29th, you would also probably have seen. Some of these other ones I don't know. I've never seen that. I've never seen that, or that. Some of these I have not seen. Now these are Army Air Forces patches before the Air Force came into being. Those are some of the decorations awarded in World War II. And we've seen a lot of these mess kits. A lot of these mess kits. Like I said, I have some that are dated from 1940s. My uncles, Michael Antonucci Sr. and Anthony Romeo, probably had a lot of these things in their kits. They were both in the on D-Day coming into Normandy. Michael Antonucci was a rifleman, and my Uncle Tony, Anthony Romeo, was actually a medic. And on this board, you see his battalion patch. So my uncle that was a medic, Anthony Romeo, he has this patch on his uniform in some of the pictures that we have of him, and it's in his shadow box. I'm not sure which battalion or division my Uncle Mike was in.
Certo, tu già officine portati, però in modo bene.
Andiamo, andiamo. Che bello. Un bel posto che siamo andati.
What's amazing about a museum like this is that majority of this, if not all of it, was taken right from this area, right here where it all took place. It's not, something that you see in the States. Now, there are some stuff in the States that was used out here, obviously, that are on display now. But as I was looking at some of the displays with the equipment, uniforms, things that were found, they're right from here. I can't believe I've seen so many. It baffles me on how they were able to rebuild these cities. There's a lot here on the Brits and Canadians, and they do really cover a lot of the support units, such as medical engineers, even clergy. Man, these cities were obliterated. So I just got done with the Normandy War Museum across the street from the cemetery. This cemetery is the largest Commonwealth cemetery anywhere overseas. So I thought I said the largest. I was like, wow, there's a lot more. I'm just utilizing the shade, but on the other side of this building that I'm at, there's a lot more headstones. It talked about the different countries, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, so forth. I would say to go back to that museum, the museum is well worth it. It's about €14. I think I paid about €14, and I was in and out of there about an hour and a half, which is rather quick for me actually. But the thing about it, there was a lot of information, a lot of equipment that I was already very familiar with. So a lot of people were taking some detailed time reading, which was great. It was great to see all ages there, basically like from 7 to 77. So I thought that was really neat. And a lot of, I don't think there's any other Americans in there, but a lot of foreign languages being spoken. And if you want to come over and check this cemetery out, there's some cool, this building behind me, and I took pictures of it. I'll put it on my Facebook that explains this cemetery. And let me turn this around because I'm getting bleached out from the sun. There goes my finger. Memorial on the other side. That is actually a memorial to about another 1,500 unknowns that they never found. So that memorial is on the other side of this cemetery, also for the Commonwealth, and the one with the headstones. Now what they did, when I was reading some of the history, what they did was they actually had to exhume some of the bodies from the beaches. Cracking up, people just stop and look at me. I don't know what the deal is. This one guy just came over here. I should have just started filming him. I don't know what his problem was. But what they did is that it was painstakingly where they actually exhumed many of the bodies from the beach area where they had fallen and brought them here and properly identified them. So you could imagine the task, the physical and emotional task to do all that. And the French government donated or designated this land for this purpose, for these soldiers. So once again, these are all Commonwealth. Without battling the sun, let me see how much I can get of it. Of course, I'm not going to walk it. I'm going to go look at the tapestry now and then get on to my hotel. So I guess I get a good rest and then go from there. But yeah, this is right across the street, so you can either walk here or drive, and they have an adjacent parking lot, which is what I did. All right, that's it. I'm glad to be here. I'm not going to do any filming at the tapestry because they don't let you take pictures or film it, but I'll probably do a little short snippet at the very end. Bye.